listen to it a lot more, so you can like repeat.
Kind of what I go to bed to at night.
That's scary.
Do 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 do. CommanderSmiths. Do 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 do. We're cousins. Do 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 do. Don't worry, you don't have to guess because I don't know the name of the song.
Are you serious?
I don't know. I was like, I tried to actually figure it out and be like, I tried to do Siri.
I'm pretty sure this is from like.
It's from the Power Trip Morning Show. It's
No,
the morning
no,
show
this
stuff.
is
I know,
from
but
a movie in the 80s with like Eddie
and then
Murphy.
Peter Griffin did it too, where he does and another, and he does a little dance for like 30 seconds to a minute.
48 Hours? That sounds right. From the movie 48 Hours.
Oh, I
don't know about the song. It's an Eddie Murphy movie.
Oh, yeah. I can see that.
Totally
it's an 80s song.
Yeah.
Completely. But yeah, I was like, Siri, I was in your basement. When you were upstairs taking a shower, getting ready, getting yourself all
yeah,
clean.
baby.
I was like, hey, Siri, who sings this? Do, do, do. And
they didn't get it, huh?
Spelled it. And then she comes back. She's like, let me think. Hold on a second. I'm sorry, I don't know. Do. And I was like, damn it, she didn't even get the beat of it. Welcome to CommanderSmiths.
Oh, we are the CommanderSmiths.
I'm Adam Smith.
And I am Lowery Smith.
Don't worry.
We are cousins.
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks, buddy.
It has.
It's weird. I've been on vacation.
Yeah, out at a cabin.
Yeah, taking care of somebody else's kid while they're watching my kid. Hopefully they don't listen to this podcast.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
No,
happens
they
every
definitely
year.
don't. I'm sure they don't even know how to listen to podcasts. That was mean. I'm sorry. I didn't have to deal with it. That was you.
Yeah, it's we go to my wife's cabin every year, or wife's family cabin, and it's not like their cabin. It's just one they rent out, so it's different places every year. And we have a nephew that's twice the age of our oldest, so he's 8. And we end up having to take care of him the whole time because everybody else gets a vacation, but Cindy and I have to watch him because our kids we for sure have to watch. But it's weird because you would think they were like, I think that's what their mindset is, but then when their kid goes down to the water to play, they're there watching to make sure he's okay. And as soon as we come down with our kids, they leave. And so it's just like, what the fuck?
It's like choreographed.
Yeah. It's like,
all
right, you're here. See you later.
Yeah, all right. I get to go do whatever I want now.
So almost every time we come back from vacation, I'm just like, I need a vacation.
I'm exhausted.
The hard part right now is...
That's kind of what it is with kids, though, in general. It's like, I got a weekend to myself with my kid, and I am so tired.
Oh, man. Yeah.
What is going on?
It was exhausting. Mm-hmm. We're glad we're back, but then at the same point, we're back in our trailer, which is a lot smaller than the camper right now, you know, because we're still building. So, what'd you do this last week?
I work.
Yeah, how's that going?
Well, the weekends I got to work on work.
Work on work.
Yeah,
we got to get a EDH game going soon.
September.
We are the CommanderSmiths. We don't play Magic.
Yeah, I am booked out. It's busy season for me right now. I'm sorry.
Speaking of busy season, what do we have for this episode? Because we have a lot of stuff to talk about, like magical news.
Yeah.
Stuff
So San Diego Comic-Con was this weekend, and they released a lot of info for. They did a little tidbit for Commander. The new tidbit. They didn't give you too much, but enough to know what the products are going to be about here in August. And then they also released the new plane for the fall, and a lot more info for that.
It's very interesting. So yeah, and then
that's magical news.
Magical news. We won't talk about it now because we got to get to that. But then we also have this episode 75, by the way.
Oh yeah.
We also have Spotlight. I actually built a deck while I was on vacation, so that was kind of nice. It was
that
one of the
nice.
more easier decks that I've built, but I'm really excited to play this deck. So
Yarok.
I kind of went with a different couple angles with it.
And I'm glad that you built a deck. It's about 4-to-1 ratio.
I know.
Right now.
Yeah. Well, in the meantime, what happened? So
I'm not gonna get burned out or anything.
You built so many decks that you were like, I need to. Let's start. You're about to post it. What we're going to try to do is YouTube, and then you kind of ran across that. What's his name?
Oh yeah. So Wedge from the Manosaurus, who's a big YouTuber. I was just kind of like doing. So what I want to do is I want to kind of do the whole like show a deck.
Just kind of a quicker,
we're not going to talk about
10, 15-minute video of showing it.
And so I'm going around looking for examples, something that I like. I might have come up with something that I do like with my brother, but
oh, you didn't tell me? Thanks.
No, well, I just figured it out like Friday night. But the Wedge had his Commander. It's Spotlight. It's Commander Spotlight. I'm like, oh, fuck.
We've been doing this for a year and a half now.
And so I started digging, and I was like, maybe that's a new thing, and he stole it from us. No, he's been doing it since like 2014 or something. So
does he do it as often as we do Spotlight?
No, I don't think. Well, I didn't dig that hard. I was just looking for like as far back date and as soon like as recent date, and it's a spread. So
don't worry, we're not fucking changing our name because we've been doing it for a year now.
We also have a song.
Yeah,
a Spotlight deck.
Spotlight deck.
So that's how it goes.
Yeah. I think
we're just
we
lazy.
lay claim to it because we have a song.
Yeah.
And then I tried to remember. I was like, well, didn't we call it Pete on Commander and then change it to Spotlight? You're like, no, actually, you look back at the episode. Spotlight first, then we peed on stuff, and then we went back to Spotlight.
Yeah. And I think did we come up with Spotlight?
Yeah. I think so.
No, like between us, I feel like my wife came up with Spotlight.
We got to listen back to the episodes.
I have no idea anymore. Because I feel like we were going for like Commander's Corner because we were so into alliteration at the beginning. Like everything had alliteration.
I remember Commander's Corner because that sounds really corny.
It might have been what I was pushing for. It's like Commander's Corner. We're going to be forced into it. Wedge is going to copyright us. And
we can't copyright that. Spotlight. It's just like if somebody copyrights brew. Everybody says they're brewing decks. And I never said it until I heard everybody else. I don't say it still. I'm not. But everybody says brew. I mean, you have Commanders Brew themselves. Their whole podcast.
Yeah, I was thinking about we should change the name of our podcast to CommanderSmiths Brew. How about that?
Yeah,
just steal from everybody.
Command Zone CommanderSmiths Brew. Hey guys, it's our new show name.
We just pop up on everybody when you're searching for Commanders Brew. We just pop up there.
That triggers what I was just told you before the podcast. I got yelled at by a guy on eBay.
Oh yeah,
because see, and the thing is when here's the kind of the behind the scenes stuff. When you put the video out for people that haven't. I don't know how our listeners have stumbled across us or whatever,
no idea. Yeah.
But a lot of it is you have to do proper tags to try to get people, to be able to find your podcast.
Commander, boom.
Yeah, like when our podcast talks about certain things, you tag that and there's a spot for tagging everything, whatever. So in my eBay posts, and I think on our eBay discussion, the last one where I was saying how to list your stuff on eBay, I put on there, like, for example, my wall cards. I go, hey, this is Wall of Omens. I think Larry wants to drink a beer.
No, you keep talking.
Let's drink a beer.
I'm busy.
Wall of Omens. Ooh. That's a sour.
It's called Lil Nap.
I like
Prairie
that
Artisan
one.
Ales. It's a sour ale with blackberries and lime.
I like it. I bet you don't like it.
It's good. No, I like it.
You like it?
Yeah.
I like this.
Wall of Omens.
So, Wall of Omens, I'll put in the listing, Wall of Omens, if it's foiled, whatever, MTG, what set it's from.
Get some good tags in there.
Yep. And then you go, works with Arcades, the strategist, whatever. And I got a seller that, I think this is the second time he's messaged me. He's like, stop trolling us. You can't put the name in here. That violates the rules and all this stuff. And I was like, dude, sorry I pissed you off. I'm not trying to troll. I'm just trying to say what decks it works with. But if you're so mad, will it work if I just say Arcades and not put the full name? Because I found out why he got so mad about the Arcades thing. He has a foil Arcades listed that he's trying to sell. And so when he's checking it, he's seeing that all my 15 walls come up before his Arcades. And so he's pissed about that. Then he wrote back. He's like, I'm not mad. You need to follow the rules, and yes, if you change it to Arcades, then I will be happy. And I was like, okay, I haven't changed it yet, but I will. He said he's going to turn me into eBay. He's like, I'm going through all of your listings, and I'm turning you in. I'm like, dude, really? This upsets you that much?
He needs to calm down.
Yeah, so.
But you should follow the rules.
I guess. I don't know that.
You need to be a rule follower.
I say works with.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, but how eBay works is if you type in Arcades, it ignores the works with. That's just my way of playing dumb.
We should probably tell those kind of stories on Twitter, but you could follow us on Twitter at CommanderSmiths. See, that's a good one.
That'd be a hard one to tell on Twitter because it'd be like 140 characters.
It'd be nice if you told it shorter. Yeah.
You're such a dick. You should have in the middle of it just gone, oh!
That's what the beer opening was.
All right, go ahead.
So sometimes we post like MTG news, like this last week, the new set came out. We kind of retweeted that. I do Not Sharing with Adam. Again, if you are having a beer that you are enjoying and want us to look around and see if we would enjoy it as well.
Oh, you got to thank somebody for getting us the stuff for Twitter for the...
Yeah, and so Kyle Bowman sat down and I had a lot of the people that were following are talking about the new set and that there's fairies in it. No, this was for the Commander product information and everything. And I was like, I haven't seen anything official. Nobody's posting anything official. And Kyle asked us what we thought of it. And I was like, is it even real? And so he got us the real article, the little posting, Official Wizards, which was really kind of them. And so that really helped. So that's kind of, and then we retweeted it, and then you see the official thing.
Yeah.
And that's good communication there. See, we talk with some people that, and
did you feel like you had to be obligated because I was on vacation? So you're like, shit, I have to. You did shoot me some text. You're like, hey, did you see so-and-so tweeted us? And I was like, nope, not yet. And then I noticed that you wrote to him. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot Lowery wrote to me.
It was another thing, like Kyle Bowman, he kind of like sent us, I would say like a nice tweet. He just wanted to see how he could help us kind of
in a different
get
way,
our name out more.
Patreon, doing a Patreon stuff. Like if you don't have money to do that, like the funds, it all makes sense.
And so if Adam isn't around, I will say random stuff. Kyle said he couldn't yell our name out in the middle of the street because it's Arizona, which is really hot. And I understand that. But Adam gives better responses.
Oh, yeah. So that was pretty funny, though, because then I was like, oh, yeah, shit. Larry said to check the tweet out, and then I saw your response.
This is what happens.
Yeah, you let Larry
leave me alone with Twitter.
But I just said it's kind of what we always tag it is the free way to, besides telling your friends and family. That'd be weird telling your family. Well, I guess your brother.
You could tell tell your mom, your grandma. Yeah, like I got this new deck. The CommanderSmiths are awesome.
But I mean, that's the best way is to tell other people to listen. Get other people to. What?
I got something in my head that I don't want to say.
Well, you just said dick sleeves. What did it trigger? I was going to go. You went from there to what?
Yeah, something worse.
What?
Like if your grandma's just like, I know all about the meat force. It's just like,
Grandma.
No.
Oh, wasn't it number 2 just saying? You guys made it through an episode without saying dick sleeves. Or no, he was listening to his wife, the podcast. And he's like, I don't know how long I'll be able to listen until you guys say dick sleeves, and I might have to turn it off. We do say that a lot.
So, but if you share, subscribe to YouTube,
that is the free way to do it.
It just, this is your bit, not mine.
I know, you kind of took over.
Sorry.
And you forgot to mention my Proxies of the Week.
You do have Proxy Week on Twitter.
Last week was Teferi's Protection.
Which kind of looks cool.
Anyways, but yeah, go to YouTube. That's the best way to do it. You just subscribe to, you probably already subscribe, but make sure you like all our stuff that pops up. The more we get of that, the better.
It kind of helps out with the algorithm.
Yeah.
Maybe. Is that how that works?
Well, it's almost been doubling. It's doubled in the last couple of months of people that have viewed it. Because, most of our stuff comes from podcasting, not from YouTube. Because we don't really have a video. It's you just listen to it.
Again, I think we plan on it whenever you have a real house.
I'm a real boy. But one thing with we want to talk about the YouTube thing that we're going to be doing, or is that no? We'll get to that with the Patreon.
We have an email you could send us stuff. Yeah, if you want to do it on Twitter or email, just you can give us ideas and we'll try and take it. I think we're 75 to 90% of, hey, we want to hear you guys talking about this, and we're like, okay, we'll get it done.
Yeah, that is a lot. We try to work it in there if we,
because we like you guys, and we want you to like us too.
And then we'll give you shout outs for that. If you give us the content of what we're doing, we'll kind of tell you that.
Yeah,
Or you'll falsely do it. Or last episode, Lowery went on a tangent.
I just give it all.
Yeah, he was just like,
credit to
it was totally Besh that did it, and then you're halfway through.
No, it was Louisiana Leo.
Oh, that's right.
He got everything.
Yeah, and it's like you were completely wrong with that. And then the last thing is Patreon. You can go on there. That's how you support us with money wise. There's a couple things we need to mention with Patreon.
We did get a new patron since the last time.
All right, let's try this. William Togan?
I think it's Tohays.
Tohays?
There's an N in there. Tonlook. William from Woodbury.
Yeah, so he's actually in our neck of the woods, which is kind of nice. That's our new patron. But I know we mentioned the box giveaway.
We're changing the rules.
Yep, mid doing this because Lowery came up with a brilliant idea. So I'll let you actually talk about it.
And so initially we were talking about just giving away an entire box, whatever we open to a patron, one drawing. We're going to spread the love a little bit more, which is going to hurt the postage a little bit more. But what we want to do is per pack draw a name of the patron. And so we're still doing the every dollar that you've donated, we're gonna.
That's how many numbers you get. So you could potentially, if you donated $20, you could get 20 packs potentially out of it.
And so,
but then we'll do the video. So like we'll draw the name and be like, this pack is for so and so. And then what we'll do is just to save us money because otherwise, if we start sending you huge packs, we're gonna give you the rare. And like if there's a foil with it and if there's a money worth of uncommon.
I mean, if you want any card from it,
you can
I'd say just suggest it.
And we'll do it. But the nice thing is it's the patrons, so
logistically this is going to be a nightmare. But
well, we're already sending you cards, so we're going to kind of package it together and
with the proxies.
Kind of going with that. We are very late with our patron stuff this past month. And actually, we haven't gotten a lot of people saying what they wanted.
Maybe they just don't care anymore.
Like, I don't care. We just want to give you money. I don't care about the cards we get. But then with me being out of town and all that stuff, it kind of got delayed. So the people from last month, you're still getting your cards, but we're going to package it with the July stuff and send you one big one. So I still have your orders. The people that haven't given me your orders, please do that. But anyways. We should move on to the episode.
We're totally milking the clock here.
Yeah, 20 minutes in.
What have we done?
We haven't even talked about magic cards, really. We're just talking about giving us stuff and things.
You want to do the lead?
Magical news? Magical news!
There we go. Yeah, it sounds a lot better when you do it.
Yeah, but the thing is that's you doing it that I played in last time.
Really?
It's a bit I saved. It's you going...
Magical news!
Magical news.
You've probably listened to it a lot more, so you can like repeat.
Kind
it
of what I
at
go
this
to bed
point.
to at night.
That's a scary thought.
All right, so what happened while I was gone, Lowery? What happened?
Do we want to start out with the fall set? Yeah, let's start off with the fall set.
Yeah, because that's kind of what spoiled for... Oh, fall set. No, that was later. Yeah, let's do this.
Okay, so the fall set is called Throne of Eldraine. Eldraine.
Which is Spanish for...
The drain.
The drain.
I don't know how to say it.
Yeah,
I don't think
it's right.
Eldriane?
Sure.
Okay, so
it's a fairy tale stuff.
It's a fairy tale set. I've heard that it kind of resonates with Innistrad, which was a really good set, really cool. The packaging has like fairies on the outside.
So fairies went crazy, and hence what our specs are going to be this week. Spoiler alert!
But now they're just going to skip to the back. And like,
hey, they listened to us. Remember we said we wanted fairies to be a tribe that was
we
good?
Did.
And
now we'll see. Well,
they printed it in a couple months.
Yeah. They're like, oh, no, it's like a couple episodes.
Yeah, I guess.
It's like 3 weeks. Oh, shit, CommanderSmiths. We need to put together a feather.
We got to put fairies together.
Hopefully it's green. That'd be sweet if it was green, black, blue.
Yeah,
exactly what we would want.
Yeah.
I want that.
But yeah, so they've kind of released a couple of the pictures of cards.
So no actual cards,
but they have like the gingerbread man, isn't it?
The gingerbread house, I believe.
Yeah, is that? Yeah, I guess it's the gingerbread house. What is the one though with the 2 kids that go in? It is the gingerbread house. All right, and then Little Red Riding Hood is one of them, right?
Which picture is that? Are you talking about?
That's the Planeswalker.
Yeah. So we know that
but it's supposed to look kind of like Little Red Riding Hood.
Yeah. So you can see there is a picture of a blonde woman with like a red hood, and that would be Rowan Kenrith from the Battle Bond set. So they're the twins that have like partner with it. So she's at least there, if not both.
Jack and Jill. Hey, they should have those two together.
That's not really a fairy tale, though, is it?
I guess
it's probably more like Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah.
That would be my. I mean, that's the only one I can think of off the top of my head.
Is Hansel and Gretel the one where they eat the? Which one's with the gingerbread house? What is their names?
The old witch had like a house made out of candy, right?
But it was two kids.
Yeah, and then they left breadcrumbs, and then birds ate the crumbs, so they couldn't find their way back. Witch finds them, feeds them, puts them in,
eats them.
Child. No, they don't. They end up pushing the witch in the. So I think that's probably the only one that.
But that's not Hansel and Gretel, or is
that's
that Hansel and Gretel?
That's Hansel and Gretel.
Hansel. That Hansel, he's so hot right now.
So I think it's really cool. You got fairies. Do you remember? So you sent me the like couple paragraphs. Well, where Eldraine was
where they
mentioned in an old novel.
Yeah, and so they talked about the different tribes, which was interesting because they had Flamekin in there. Wasn't that one of them?
I didn't see Flamekin, but I saw Bogarts.
It said fairies were in there. Didn't that passage I sent you say Flamekin in it, though? You
sent me the text. I remember merfolk, fairies, and Bogarts, which are goblins.
So in that little thing, it talked about... What were I said it was fairies, Flamekin, and something else. Oh, Kithkin.
Yeah.
And so you never saw those?
I don't think I saw Harbinger or Kithkin.
Really? So it was in like the second paragraph of it. So maybe this...
I just read the main paragraph. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it talked about that those are potentially in it, but I don't even know how many Flamekins are there.
Well, they're just elementals.
Yeah.
And so
that are just on fire.
So the context of what we're talking about is Urza and Xantia were planeswalking to like Urza's home plane or something, and they stop at Eldraine. And Xantia's just like, are we on? And then it stops. It's like LOR, and then Urza's like, no, we're on Eldraine. And she's like,
I like your voice with it.
Eldraine. I'm trying to Antonio Banderas this a little bit. But, and you know, and she's like, are you sure it's not Lorwyn?
Your
basically.
Zorro.
My Zorro.
I meant to say your Urza. Is that how you picture your Urza?
Yes.
I like to picture mine with a nice tuxedo tie t-shirt.
Tied.
It's from Talladega Nights. That's when they're talking about their baby Jesus. I like to picture my baby Jesus with a tuxedo tie. Yeah, I can talk. Anyway, let's move on.
So, but like, it seems like it might be a really similar set to Lorwyn, but the way it was explained from Morrow or at the panel and everybody's reactions, it seemed like more like Innistrad. You know, Innistrad was based off of like horror tropes, and this is going to be based off of fairy tropes, and you know, kind of darker. Probably, you know, Grimm's Fairy Tale is German. Innistrad was German-based horror as well, and so it'll be interesting the way they go. Like, I don't think they ever really plan on going back to Lorwyn because they think it was a failed set, even though it came about in a, you know, the American recession.
That's kind of the point of it.
It was a great set, but in my mind, it was, you know, they had Eventide, Shadowmoor, Morningtide, and I think it was like year of 2008. Everybody's losing their houses, and so I don't know if I would call it a failed set. I really liked it personally.
There's a lot of good
because I didn't own a house, so at that point in my life. So if they're trying to fix Lorwyn, this might be their chance. So I think it'll be cool.
It'll be interesting because then some of the images we found out some of the packaging, like the special packs that they have.
Yeah, so they have like a $20 a pack.
Which is crazy, but the stuff that's in it's like a full art foil card, and then there's a weird one where you showed me an image, which
so there's something called like Showcase.
So it shows like almost like a storybook is where the text would be. It looks like it's a book open, and so it looks like you're gonna have text on each side. And
so
we
haven't seen what the card is. It's just the frame layout and the picture for it. But I think That's a little cringeworthy in my opinion.
$20, yeah.
No, just the showcase, like
how it looks.
So it's like top half is like a normal card, like the picture, and then the bottom half is like cut in half, and then you have like another, but think mana of it, cost.
Think of it like Saga. Is it just a different that we're not used to seeing?
Nah, I think because Sagas it's like a split screen, which is something like you're still using up the same amount of space. Like think of it more like a flip card
because it felt like we lost the art with it. Like half.
I can understand that.
It just felt like the art was squished.
But think of like flip cards from Kamigawa and how small that type is. Think about how small the print is going to be on those. It's half of a half, which is how quarters are, but it's the bottom 2 quarters of where the words are. And I just
if
see
it doesn't have a lot
mess.
of text there, what if it's just like flying, and then the other side says indestructible?
But then doesn't that defeat the purpose of a story a little bit?
Maybe.
I don't know. I think
it would be ridiculous if they have a lot of text in there.
It's potentially cringeworthy if it's just like, what the fuck is saying here? I can't.
But what do you think about the $20 pack?
I have no interest. I mean, it could be really cool, but I'm not going to spend $20 on a pack.
And is that going to be like anybody can get that? Because when we did the pre-release of Core Set, they had those packs, the premium packs. Is that kind of is it going to be more of a prize, or is it actually ones that we can go out and buy? I mean, if they're giving a price tag of $20,
I think it's
one that we can actually go buy.
I think it's going to be pretty rare to find it though, like really premium product, in my opinion. I don't know if you remember this back when Shards of Alara was out. They had a foil pack, like a premium pack that came out.
Yeah, I don't remember it.
And that was a $10 pack. And it had a mixture of the shards block. So 1 rare, but it was similar to pack, 1 rare, 3 uncommons, and then the rest commons. And I remember going, oh, foils, that'd be sweet. I opened it up and it was all shit. I was like, I'm never doing that again. Well, and so like you need to, like, they have 9 foil commons, uncommons. You got a couple rares, you got full art rares. It's kind of like, I don't know. Like, it has to all be good for me to want to spend $20. I might buy one just to see what it's like. But if I open up
video content,
if I open up like the worst rare, which is kind of a thing I do.
Hey, you're on a winning streak. You got two down, 2 in a row.
Good for me.
Oh, good for you.
So I don't know. I don't know if I like that.
Yeah. You think like Ultimate Masters packs were around what, $10 a pack? And those had like pretty good rares in that potentially with what you were going to pick, rares and mythics.
Yeah, but that's a known quantity.
Right, but that's what I'm saying.
If you're
like,
pulling all this stuff from the
standard,
new set.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting because it's like
the power level isn't going to be there.
Right.
If they did this with like Modern Horizons, that'd be way different too. Oh, and I think the other thing that I understood, I could be wrong on this one, but it seemed like this was going to be a lone set. So there isn't going to be a second Eldraine. But we don't have to expound on that because I don't know if that's real.
It might be a fairy
so they
tale
might be,
that you're saying.
They might be jumping around for some reason, story-wise.
Because that's weird. Because it seemed like they got away. They wanted to just do 1 block sets, and then they realized, it actually works better if you do them together. And they came back to it again, and now they're going to go away from it again?
I don't know.
All right.
They make up these rules and then instantly break them. That's all they want to do. Okay, Commander product.
Yeah.
So are you excited about this?
Kind of.
It's hesitant?
Well, because it's not anything new at this point, of course, because they gave us the mechanics that we're going to be dealing with, right?
So the mechanics that this is going to be focused on is populate, flashback, morph, and madness. Those are going to be the 4 themed decks for this year.
I don't know. I know a lot of people are down on it, but if they add new stuff to give those things more tools, I think that'd be good because there isn't a lot of good morph stuff. There's some decent madness.
You're gonna get people mad. People love these mechanics. Some of them.
Well, no, but I'm saying
they're
is
shit. They're shit mechanics.
they need to add more things to them to make them work. And so if we're getting,
it's not even more things. You need to up the power level. You got to do a lot of stuff to make this actually workable when it comes to bringing everything in.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're like, the best flashback card is like Think Twice. That's not a good card.
Yeah, but
quote unquote. I'm sure it's fine in some.
If you give
decks.
each of these 15 new cards to work with,
they only make 15 new cards.
It was
per
15
block.
Per block. Yeah,
so
you're
for
15, 15,
box.
15.
Yeah.
So
but you would have to specifically make that for each one, which is not what they do.
Yeah, but they haven't really done like we're just doing these mechanics. They normally have been doing like tribes. These tribes we're using. So this is kind of like this is new-ish. They aren't just saying these are the 4 mechanics in it. Deal with it. And that seems like that's each deck is going to have that. So I think the 15 cards should be that's probably not going to, but should be all of those 15 new morph, 15 new flashback. Now maybe more things that like whenever you morph cards that like do other things so that you can use the old morph stuff, and even though they're shitty with this card out or this commander out, they're amazing. And that's the part. Yeah, it's not exciting now, but I'm interested to see what cards they bring to the table with it, because I know I've liked the last few years of the commander sets. Like last year's, I think people weren't too high on.
Here's what I would think, though. Like when talking about these 4 different sets, I wouldn't look at them specifically as their mechanics. I think they're mislabeling it again. Kind of like last year with Lord Windgrace was a lands deck.
Yeah,
that was a shit lands deck. There wasn't anything really there later. Yeah. And so
lands cards.
Modern Horizons had better land cards other than Lord Windgrace. And so it's just kind of like, I don't think we should be looking at it with those mechanics in mind, because I don't think they're going to make 15 new cards that deal with only flashback.
Yeah.
They're just, that's not what they've done.
Yeah, they normally mix it
around.
So
like for Populate, I would look at it more like it's a token deck. That's what they just didn't want to say that because it's boring-ish. But Populate, when I was kind of looking through it, there's only 13 cards with the word Populate on it in the past.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's like, you have to make 15 new cards to make it a semi-okay Populate, like make it a theme. And so it's kind of like, they're not going to do that. So what are they going to do with it?
But it is weird how they worded it that way, because like you said, for last year, how they labeled it was, to make it more vague, was lands matter, and wasn't one like top of the deck matters, and was there
artifact matters and enchantment matters.
So instead of just saying enchantment deck, top deck, well, because that's where
but that's what you looked at it. You looked at it as, you're saying it's a lands deck, not lands matter. But they're really poor at labeling their things, like iconic masters.
I know, I'm poor at labeling my thing. I'm like 8 inches. More like 2. No, I'm just kidding.
That's mismeasuring. That's very different. So what I would say is Populate's like a token deck. Flashback is going to be a spells deck. Morph is morph deck. You're fucked on that one.
That one
you're fucked on that one. But Madness turns into a discard deck. That's what I would think. You're heavy on the discard theme, and then you're able to gain your advantage that way. I wouldn't look at necessarily like as a Madness deck, because there just
would you be really disappointed if they straight up just said this is what it is, like it's Madness morph, and they add 15 new cards of each of those?
Would I be mad? That's where, if they have to push the power level on every single one of these.
And what if they did? Would you be happy?
And if they did, possibly. Again, it has to be fun. Populate as a token theme isn't bad. It's like big tokens makes it better. It's not like spread wide. It's tall tokens. Like a flashback like that. I think that'd be really fun with like Kikar or Niv-Mizzet Perun to get more spells to play from your graveyard to kind of like twist that. I think it'd be fun. Morph. I mean, you gotta do something for the commander. That is super out of the box in my mind.
Yeah.
And with Madness, I think you have a couple of commanders that you could reprint with that, and that'd be perfectly fine. But you just need like better Madness cards.
Yeah,
straight up.
There isn't a lot of them out there. I mean, there's some decent. I can't think of ones off the top of my head though. Do you have any listed at all?
Not really. Okay. Should we go through Madness?
We probably don't have to go through it because we're...
Enablers are important. There are 52 cards with Madness on it.
Oh, so there's a lot more than...
Yeah. Flashback has 117 cards. Morph has 195 cards.
And what was Populate has...
Populate was like 13. Like, that's a huge distribution. Like, I'm thinking if you bought the Selesnya guild pack back in the fall, you're going to get most of those Populate cards in there.
Exactly.
So, like, I just don't know what you're going to do more. You just reprinted a ton of those cards.
Yeah.
Like, the best one is Trostani Selesnya's voice. They just reprinted that in the fall. I don't know what you can do with it.
I guess we have to wait and see. That spoiler's got to be starting soon then.
I think I saw, like, August 3rd or 4th.
August 4th.
4th.
So
why'd you say it like that?
I think that's a Terminator thing.
August 4th. Oh.
So that's my Arnold.
That's impressive that you got that real quick.
That's from another reference to the Power Trip. They used to say that all the time. August 4th. Okay, so...
Where are you on this?
Like I said, I want to wait and see.
Reserved, excited?
Because I've liked the Commander products for the last few years. I think the only one that we haven't bought was the one where they had like... What was the one with the dragon that made the 01... Or the not Kithkins, the Kobolds. And he's really broken now, but that was the only one that I didn't buy. I think it was from like
I generally always
3 or 4 years. We bought them all last year and the year before.
But they've been at 4 for the last 2 years. So.
Yeah, so it was the one... We had most of the cards, and that was the one we both skipped, and that Commander ended up getting really broken because it's something with... You can
you just sacrifice it, sack it, and then you just replay it.
Yeah.
And you have... kind of infinite mana and stuff like that.
So as long as they don't, I don't know. I've liked it for the last few years, so I'm excited to see what happens.
I'm pessimistic excited. I think if they pull it off, I will be really impressed.
All right, so we'll have to come back to this.
Yeah. We haven't even gotten into my theory where they're just like shitting on Commander now. I don't like it. I don't think they want to produce these products.
Why do you think that though?
All right, so they used to make 5.
All right, you're getting me.
They went down to 4, right? Mm-hmm. And then people, like, it was a trend that they do is they start out really powerful with a product, and as they go along, they depower it and try and get the same amount of money out of the more powerful
power
thing.
As in money-wise power. Like, because the thing is
well, I mean,
each year the decks have gotten better and better out of the box. Like take what's her name? She wins all the fucking time from the last year's set.
Saheeli?
Yeah, Saheeli wins against our decks that are powered up. And we've seen that multiple times with that one out of the box. And each year it seems like they synergize better together, the decks, than they used to, where it was like, go back to the beginning Commander stuff, like stuff wouldn't even match. Like it doesn't make sense why they would even have it in there.
Like that enchantment deck last year was awful. The lands deck really wasn't functional.
No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Played with it.
I played with it, but also just playing the deck in like against them, like it was just really bad. The lands deck was powerful, but like didn't really work well out of the box either. So you're like at 50% right now.
Well, I wouldn't say it didn't work. I thought it worked fine.
We didn't really even see the land deck, but it was like the commanders did not match up, so there wasn't going to be a ton of synergy within that deck. Artifact one, Saheeli was definitely good.
Amanatu,
but like the year before,
interesting.
Like vampires, dragons were really good. and then Cats was.
Wizards were really good.
And Wizards was pretty good, yeah. But that was when you did the change, and you're like, hey, we're gonna make less decks, charge you more for it, because it went from 30 to 40, basically. And they're like, but we're giving you better cards and stuff like that. And then
and giving you cats. Everybody likes
fucking
cats.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if they did a Bears deck? Holy shit.
I think that's going to be another problem here with these, is the Bears problem. You're going to print 15 better cards, and those 15 better cards have to be in that deck. So it's going to create a lot of consistency within that deck. Going back to the other point of trying to kill the product off. Modern Masters started out amazing and just slowly got worse and worse. Dual decks started out really, really good, got worse and worse, and then they killed it. And then you had the Planeswalker dual decks that started off really good. Like you had Elspeth, Knight, Errant, and Tezzeret, and then you had Jace and Chandra, which were the first Planeswalkers anyway. And then you just got worse and worse, and they killed that a couple years ago. Because they don't want to give away Planeswalkers in a cheaper set. They don't want to be giving us good cards because then the market kind of crashes. They're trying to keep that up. And so and that's why they're putting more Commander products, like having your Yarok deck. That's a Mythic and a core set. They want Commander players to be buying standard product. And so the worse they make Commander sets, the more likely we're going to be buying standard product. Yeah, and that's what they want, in my opinion.
Yeah, but there's certain things you can't print in standard that you need in Commander, the stuff that they print. Teferi's Protection, I don't see that going into standard.
But that's something that they've made Modern Horizons for, which is a $200 box.
Yeah, but Modern Horizons can't have Teferi's Protection.
Oh, it absolutely could.
There's a lot of Commander card stuff that you couldn't. I mean, then you can't print Commander specific cards then anymore if you're doing that, because you can't have command tower. You can't have all those type of lands that deal with Commander itself unless you make another Commander product. I don't think they'll ever get rid of Commander because of how big it is. They would.
I mean, this year right here tells me they're running out of ideas.
Actually, the funny thing is that you bring that up. I actually haven't talked to you about that before. And we've mentioned them multiple times, but MTG Fast Finance, those guys have talked about that they actually think that they might be switching it up to add foils to Commander products where you can actually get all the cards potentially foil, and then just Commander specific that they have. I don't know if they have a source, but they had, for some reason he keeps mentioning it, and that would be another interesting thing. What if they did pack, like kind of like Modern Horizons, but just for Commander?
Commander Horizons?
Yeah.
I can see them going that route too.
I'd like that. I'd personally actually like that more than what they do with the Commander product, because we own all the cards that are reprinted for the most part. I think almost every single time we own those cards, and we're like, yeah, I guess I can have a couple extra copies, but all the new stuff, that's what we're really going after, and that's why we buy it. Now, if they did a Commander Horizons where they're just printing cards that directly...
But more than likely, you would be getting those reprints in that pack anyway.
Correct, but I'd rather get the packs with better, with the potential of getting really new, crazy good stuff than knowing exactly what you're getting, I guess. I love the pack opening part of it. That's the one thing I don't like about Commander.
I would much rather be able to open up a box and knowing exactly. I would rather know that Teferi's Protection's in that box.
Right. I like that, but at the same point, when we open those boxes, it isn't exciting. It's like, we know exactly what's in this. Oh, Larry's going to number 2. Number 2 beer. But you know what I'm saying? Like, there's such a different feeling when you're opening packs compared to opening the Commander products, because we already know the exact things that are in the deck. It's like, okay, well, I have this card now. I'm going to go put this in my binder and whatever. We play the decks. That's kind of our tradition. Mm-hmm. We go through and play the decks, but that is the most boring opening. Remember, I think we even talked about last year about, should we do a recording of us opening this? Like, no, because everybody can see the exact same cards. It's not surprising at all. I like opening packs, especially lately, because think of Ultimate Masters. I opened fucking 10 boxes of that.
I think you're just hooked.
Yeah, they got me. No, but I only like the things that have the better chance of getting more expensive things in it. You know, I'm selling all that stuff. I'm already more than halfway back on my Modern Horizons boxes, and now we've been actually kind of talking about each of us potentially buying a couple more boxes. I do have some...
I mean, it does seem like a really good value, but that power level is way more than a Commander product pack would be. You know what I mean?
Why couldn't it be the same power level?
Because that's just not what they didn't do it with Iconic Masters. They only did it with
But if they're doing
Ultimate
a
Masters.
product that's going just for Commander, why not make it freaking crazy?
Why wouldn't they make this crazy? Because they don't want to
For
introduce
Modern, you mean?
crazy stuff.
Because Modern's a little different, but they can make some crazy shit for Commander.
No, I'm just saying with Commander product, they don't go crazy every year. They put like 1 to 2 chase cards out of the 4 boxes that you can get. They could go crazy in there. And they could sell a shit ton of this stuff, but they don't.
I think they learned because they did do that in the beginning accidentally because Scavenging Ooze, remember that?
And Flusterstorm.
That's going through stuff. And I was going to every Target and picking up those and turning around and selling.
Every box, it wouldn't be like you'd sell it out and then you could replace it and you know that you could just sell it like crazy.
But those boxes wouldn't be the price that they'd be. You know, they couldn't sell those at retail stores. They kind of messed up with that because remember with Scavenging Ooze, I was picking those up. Selling Scavenging Ooze, making $5 off of it,
and have all the cards left over.
Every card
in that.
Remember. And so they're trying not to do that again.
But if they did it in packs, they'd be charging $160 for a similar thing.
I'd love it.
I mean, the thing that they could do with these boxes is they could put powerful cards in each box, but force you to buy the 4 boxes as a whole. That'd be just like buying a box.
But I guess I would like the packs because then they could throw in like the fetch lands and all that stuff in there.
They would never do that.
Why not?
They've only reprinted the fetches in a Masters product one time.
But
when they could be do it every time.
Why not do it in Commander product?
Because they won't.
Why not?
That's the whole thing. They don't put good cards in there except for accident because it's a pre-made product, even if it was a box.
They wouldn't do it. Watch the set has fetch lands in it and you're just like, they
won't. Again, like I went through like Anvil Bowgarden for Madness. I think that's going to go up. They won't reprint it reserve list. Animar is the only good reprint for Morph. I don't think they're going to put that in there.
Yeah, I don't think they would use it.
But it's a $15 card. Like that's borderline. Flashback, the best card is like Snapcaster Mage. Not going to be in there. Populate, best card Trostani. I guarantee you that's going to be in there.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like you know what they're not going to put in there. And so,
what if they do? What if they do, Lowery?
Yeah, I mean, because we've been seeing this product been put out for 7 years, and I've seen the first one that came out.
Cards that pop up are the new ones. The ones that
they make.
The ones that stay expensive are the ones that are new, and so that's what I was like. I actually would really like a Commander Horizons. If you got rid of the Commander stuff and did a Commander Horizon type of thing, I'd love that. That would be freaking awesome because then you can put new power into it. That's ridiculous. You could throw in the fetches if you wanted to.
Again, I don't think they would.
Well, they first have to create that. I'm not saying that. I don't even think that's going to happen. I think this continues for another 10 years. I don't think that's going to change.
Because think about this. They only make 45 cards for the Commander product total per year. That's all they do. Mm-hmm. It's 45 cards. And so maybe it's a little bit more, but they have overlap between them. They have overlap with their uncommons and commons, though. So they don't even make...
But isn't it 15 per?
It's 15 new cards per, it's not... Only for those. So Command Tower used to be a new card, but that was in every product. So, you had the uncommon lieutenants last year. So you had like the unicorn and 2 of them. Mm-hmm. And that's a new card, 15 new cards, but
it was spread out
overlapped.
Between, yeah.
So I believe it's 45 new cards per set. That's all the work they put into it. I don't think they want to put more work into it. And I think they're making...
So you're kind of going against what you're saying because this is just easy money for them. They're not trying to make it crap.
They have plenty of things that can make them easy money, and they refuse to do it because what they don't want to do.
Instead, what they do is they send you a toothbrush instead of a freaking foil sheet.
Yeah. All right.
We might as well tell the story now because we never did talk about it.
Okay, so there was. I was going to get a foil sheet for the War of the Spark mess up.
So Tyson got his first, and then
it was damaged.
Everybody we were seeing on Twitter that, and so Tyson's like, "Yeah, mine has a crease in it." And so then he contacted Wizards, and I got mine
a day or two later,
and mine has a very small crease in it, but they're sending me a new one anyways.
And then about a week later,
we're at the wedding, getting ready for our cousin Jake's wedding,
and my wife shows up and at the wedding, and she was just like, "I think you got a toothbrush."
You got a package.
And I was like, "What?"
She's like, it's from Hasbro, but it says, what's the toothbrush kind? What's the brand again? It's
Quip.
Quip, that's right. And then Larry's like, "What? That's crazy." I was like, "She's fucking with you, Larry." He's like, "Yeah, you're fucking with me."
She was like, "No, just it's a small package." And I was like, "Oh my god, no!"
So then Larry
I was like, "What is going on?"
And then,
sure enough, literal toothbrush pictures on the back of the package, and I'm like, "I think I got a fucking toothbrush."
They know you need to brush your teeth, Larry.
Somebody on Twitter commented, was like, "They know you have a dirty mouth."
Yeah.
It's like, well, fair enough. But I got a fucking toothbrush, and I still haven't gotten a foil sheet at all.
But they did say they're sending it, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, because then it was funny. They sent like a mass thing later, and like, some of you got damaged materials, and some of you got toothbrushes. We know we're gonna get you guys your foil sheet. So, man,
and they changed.
Think of that whole debacle, backing it all the way up. They only did what? They only sold 12,000 of those, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they had to. Technically, but not really. I mean, there was 40,000 orders, but some of those are people repeating or whatever.
Yeah.
Let's just round it. Let's say it's at 20,000 people they had to give these foil sheets to. And from my knowledge, I didn't see one damn one that wasn't damaged. So they sent out 20,000. Let's say they sent out 15,000 of them. 5,000 were toothbrushes. And then
10,000 were damaged goods.
And now they're sending it again to those people are getting 2 of them. Like it's
I guarantee
crazy.
you they still made money.
Yeah, I know. But the amount of money they could have made if they just would have, like we talked in that episode, where maybe done it to demand instead of just being like, all right, 12,000.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, that's easy money that they're just not doing.
So going back to the example,
it feels like they shoot themselves in the foot all the time with that, because like again, they're like, this product isn't selling anymore, and you're like, because you're putting shitty cards in there. Do you remember the last dual deck that they printed?
I don't even pay attention to the
because
dual
they're
decks.
bad now.
No, because I feel like
why.
I feel like the dual decks are more for beginners, is how I've always.
But that's not how it used to.
I know, but that's how I look.
You
at
started out and they put like Fabricate and like Thirst for Knowledge when it was a really good card. You had 2 premium like Planeswalkers in there, and at the end you're just like, why are they putting the worst Planeswalkers in there? And then they're making these new Planeswalker decks, and those Planeswalkers are awful.
Oh, they're terrible.
If they made halfway decent Planeswalkers, people would buy them. Mm-hmm. But instead, they just sit on the shelf with this wasted money.
That's probably why I think of the dual decks like that, because
they
I think
print
of those
shitty
decks,
Planeswalkers.
Yeah, those are the ones that are it's a crappy Planeswalker and then crappy stuff in it.
And they'll say like, "Oh, it's for newer products or like newer players," like you're saying. But it's like new players don't want to buy shit.
Yeah.
New players want to buy at least halfway decent stuff where you're like, hey, that's at least playable, instead of don't buy that.
The nice thing is you can get those in their foil and they're only like $1.
Actually, they're like a lot of them are like $5 to $7.
I pick a bunch of them up, but because they're usable Planeswalkers. They're not necessarily
they're
good.
Not, though. They're not usable.
I think Planeswalkers are my second thing that I like to get a copy of everyone. But. Because it's get in my toolbox, but land is my number one, to have copies of every kind of land, so that because those are free tools to use when you're building a deck, that you don't have to add in there. Like, I have a kill spell. Well, you can do it with. There isn't a land that does that, is there?
That's a kill spell?
I don't know. No.
I mean, there's like Quicksand that gives like a creature minus.
There we
2,
go.
minus
That's
1.
what I was thinking of.
Probably not.
Or the Death Touch one, the Archangel thingy. Doesn't that give lifelink and Death Touch?
Archangel? Yeah.
All
right.
There you go.
It's not really a kill spell.
I know. But you get what I'm saying. All right. I think that should do it for this week. You guys can check us out on Twitter
at CommanderSmiths.
YouTube
at CommanderSmiths.
Gmail
at CommanderSmiths.
And Patreon.
CommanderSmiths.
Until next week, we'll see you guys later.
Thanks for listening.
See ya. In a sexy voice.